moving at speed of sound. Let's try quickest hedgehog around. Got ourselves a situation, stuck in a new location without any explanation. No time for relaxation. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster, 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 Sonic X.
And Dragon Ball Z has also had that thing of the characters advancing power levels, where, you know, originally it took Goku and Piccolo teaming up together.
Sonic, look!
That thing's loaded with Eggman's weapons.
Eggman, you're finished!
No,
We got him!
capture him first. Then you can have your revenge.
Affirmative.
That must be... What do we do now?
Dr. Eggman's secret weapons must be aboard that ship. Destroy it before it reaches the canyon.
Piece of cake!
Again, here's... Hey look, what's that on top here?
Weird in there. Jeez, you'll be reunited with Chocola very soon!
Froggy too?
Again, like, look at that
Get it
fucking
before
creepy
Sonic
doll
does.
face.
Then he'll be
Jesus
head over
Christ.
heels for me!
Ready, old cannon!
It's the Egg Albatross, it's just the Egg Hawk with
This is it?
blimp stuck underneath it. So it's literally just the same fight as before. Dig that asset reuse, bros. Right? Oh. It's literally just the same fight, but it takes longer because you have to fight it in, like, multiple phases now. Hooray! Boss fighting. Originally, it took Goku and Piccolo working together to bring down Raditz. Like, if Krillin had tried to fight Raditz, it wouldn't have even been a fucking fight. But then fast forward to when Vegeta and Nappa land, and they're fighting Cybermen, who are the same power level as Raditz, and Krillin was capable of killing 7 of them single-handedly. Like, Krillin's power level had progressed from being... he could have been killed with, like, the flick of Raditz's finger, to I can kill 7 Raditzes by myself.
We've done it!
And even fast forward to, like, the Boo Saga, let's say. Like, let's say by the Boo Saga, I would assert that Krillin would probably have been strong enough to have fought Frieza, at least to a standstill, at least on equal terms, with fucking Frieza, the arch villain of the fucking Namek Saga, the terror of the fucking universe, right? And in Sonic, it's the same way. Like, the main character, Goku, progresses to the point where he is, honestly, on deific levels of power. But all the other characters aren't slouches either. They're still improving and becoming powerful, to the point where threats that 3 arcs ago only Goku would have been capable of fighting, now these other side characters are able to hold their own against them as well. And Amy is the same way, I feel like. Previously, only Sonic could have been capable of standing up against the threat of the Eggman Empire. But now, not only has Tails progressed to the point where he can also beat the ever-loving shit out of Eggman by himself, but Amy has progressed to the point where she can fight him to a relative standstill and send him running in the same way Sonic did back in the Genesis games. And that speaks both to Amy improving, and other characters, of course, improving their power levels, but it also speaks to Eggman not improving his power level. Like, it's that funny thing of heroes level up, villains don't. Like, the villain forgot to level grind. The heroes will grind. The heroes will get experience and level up and improve their stats. The villain is the same. The villain never levels up. The villain never becomes more powerful. So,
Let's go look for Froggy and Chocola now!
every other character has progressed. Eggman has stood still. To where originally he was a massive threat to the world. Look at this Doombot.
Hey, it's just a stupid copy.
I love that animation of her stomping her foot.
Let's go home.
Oh, my Pollywog pal.
Yes, a chow nappy. But
What?
why?
What is this dialogue?
Betcha Dr. Eggman has something to do with it, and we're not gonna let him get away with it. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okie dokie.
What is this dialogue? This game's story is so fucking... there's nothing to bite into. It makes me so frustrated. And it's gonna be even worse because of a cutscene we're about to see. As
You all ready?
check what the beating that boss cutscene for the other teams was. Uno momento, por favor. So, Team Sonic fights the Egg Albatross, and this is what they get. It's always a copy.
You fools have been tricked.
It's a fake?
From these canyons, watch as I conquer the world with my air fleet, and this time you can't stop me.
Yo.
Trapped a stall for time. Sonic!
It's not an Eggman robot.
Dun dun dun.
Knuckles, wait for me.
Oh, this Terminator shit.
All life form data successfully copied.
What the fuck? Right? Anyway. I do love that scene because it's Tails going, it's not an Eggman robot. Like, he's the one who realizes it. So I guess that does justify the note. I guess Eggman was trying to keep them busy so that they wouldn't notice his fleet that he was... I don't know. Fuck it.
Good job, boys. Guess that Eggman was a fake after all.
Of course it was.
Wrong?
Hmm?
Listen carefully.
Of course.
North of here. Go there immediately.
Why does their employer know it was a fake?
You know what? Our client sure seems to know a lot about this Dr. Eggman guy.
Definitely an agent. A relative, perhaps.
A relative? What?
Strangely enough, I had the same weird feeling about our client's real identity.
Dun dun
You
dun.
know who?
I love that. Like, say what you want about Vector. He's a pretty good detective, actually. He actually kind of has... He's on the ball with this, you know? A little bit. More than Espio and definitely more than Charmy, at least. So here's the second mic drop for Shadow's story in this game. Where was this? Where did this come from? Why is this here for no reason? What?
Shadow?
Let's go.
There was just a robot version of Shadow on that Egg Albatross that they happened to... It just happened to be there when they blew it up? But uh-oh, Shadow's looking at that and going... And then running away. Why does he have no memory? Anyway. Anyway, so...
Here we go!
Through Frog Forest.
Go!
Oh, this is the one that's the most...
Good job,
Oh,
boys.
shit!
Guess the
I didn't
Eggman
realize that it would show the
after all.
CG movie when I picked the level. Fuck. That would have saved time. Okay, so this level's bullshit. This is the one where you have to go through the level without being detected.
Next mission. There are huge frogs in this jungle. Once they start to croak or start to rain, you'll be spotted easily. Get through the jungle without being detected.
Rest assured, every single level so far has had bullshit Chaotix missions for them, and some of them are pretty good. Most of them are really fucking annoying. Like this one, you literally have to go through the whole level without the frogs noticing you. If they notice you, it's a fail, and you have to start all the way back at the beginning. Luckily, Espio is a ninja and can turn himself invisible. So if you run around as the invisible chameleon Espio, the frogs won't see you. So that alleviates it somewhat, but that's still bullshit. Like, if you're the casual player and you don't think to do that, I mean, it's an easy solution that's right there, but what if you don't think to do that, or don't realize that it'll make you invisible and the frogs won't notice you? What if you don't realize that? You're gonna be tiptoeing through this fucking level,
Jump off when it reaches the highest point of its
trying to do this, and probably failing, and it's gonna be very frustrating for you trying to go through this level and accomplish that without realizing that there's a trick to it, you know? And that's what it is with the chaotic levels, is they're just kind of fucking tedious. I give them points for the idea, but it really does get fucking frustrating playing these levels. This campaign, by far, takes me the longest to get through. And this isn't even the worst one. Trust me. The one after this, the Chaotix version of the level after the Frog Forest here is the one. I will talk about that when we get there, but anyway.
There's a frog.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go. There's a frog over there.
So, as I was saying before, about how, like, Eggman isn't leveling up. Every other character has eclipsed him in terms of power level. Even the goddamn damsel in distress. Even the goddamn kid sidekick. Like, imagine if Robin was able to fight the Joker by himself and win. Like, that is basically what it's like.
If we do something,
Where, like, Eggman is the main villain, and he's just so not a credible threat to basically any character anymore. Any character could stand up toe-to-toe with Eggman at this point. I mean, the fact that Amy Rose, by far, arguably, I will say, not by far, arguably the weakest character in the entire series, is able to stand up against it.
I'll handle it.
Like, what hope does he have? Like, every other character, it would probably be also easily able to stand up to. Okay, so, I don't know if I talked about this before, but...
Spirits unite.
So the cool thing about their Team Blast is, when you do it, you get rings from every enemy you kill, and while the Team Blast is, like, cooling down up there, every enemy you kill, you also get rings from them until the Team Blast is cooling down. And considering...
What is that thing?
Considering that every time you collect rings in this game, it boosts your Team Blast gauge, you can totally string together Team Blast with Chaotix here. They can totally, like, Team Blast, kill enough dudes that you collect enough rings that by the time it cools down, you can do another Team Blast. It's really fucked and kinda cool.
What's that?
Leave this to me, boy.
Yeah, no. Not gonna risk that. Espio also cannot light speed dash through the rings. That is only a Sonic and Shadow thing. So yeah, kind of painless when you know what you're doing, but if you don't, holy fucking shit, is that gonna be rough. So that's why, like, starting with Adventure, you would start having this thing where Eggman kind of got shuffled off to the side as the main antagonist of the game. Like, originally, it was Chaos. Like, for a lot of the game starting out, he was holding the reins, but then Chaos took control and was the final boss of that game. Then with Adventure 2, he was the main villain, but then it turned out he had been manipulated and exploited by Shadow to activate the Eclipse Cannon, which awoke the Bio Lizard who took over the final boss position. I'm not going to spoil what happens with this game, but then that keeps happening. Like, with every new like, Eggman kind of isn't the main villain anymore of the series. And on the one hand, you might be like, oh, fuck these Monster of the Week. Like, you might... like, I know some people have a negative reaction to that, where they're like...
You guys hear that?
Okay, these are the big bada boom guys. I can't believe we haven't seen enemies of this nature until right now. This is the first one we've seen, which is insane to me. These guys are kind of annoying, but again, if you know what you're doing, it alleviates some of the annoyance. You gotta wait for them to start spinning the hammer around, and when they do, they'll lose their balance. You gotta hit them.
Over there.
Okay, we can be seen by the frogs now, don't worry. We're just rescuing Chaotix this level. And you wait for him to fall over, and then you can really wail into him. But man, for whatever reason, even though my brain knows what I'm supposed to do when dealing with those enemies, I still always end up fucking up. Like, those enemies, I have such a problem with. I know what you're supposed to do, but I still always end up, like, getting hit stupidly by them and etc. As you'll probably see, since we're gonna see more of them. Especially during the last level. But for whatever reason, those enemies are just my fucking kryptonite.
Anytime you're ready.
Hey, Chow. There we go. So some people complain about...
Proceed with caution.
Like, the monster of the week, every game has kind of a new final boss, whom isn't. Luckily, if you have a Team Blast, it just automatically kills them. A new monster of the week, whom is not Eggman. Like, we keep getting... it's sort of like, it's almost the opposite problem that Legend of Zelda has, where each game kind of introduces a new villain, and then it's like, no, actually, they were possessed by Ganon the whole time, and the real final villain is actually Ganon. It's like the opposite problem. That's hilarious. Like, you play Twilight Princess, and you're like, yeah, this new villain, he's cool. Nope, turned out possessed by Ganon. It's actually Ganon. Ganon's the real final boss, right?
Were those robots really destroyed by the fruit?
Mega Man X also kind of has that problem where every game... Oops, it's Sigma again.
Did somebody croak?
But then Sonic does it, and it's... No, every game has a new villain, and the franchise villain is the one who's getting hijacked and shuffled off to the side and relegated to like, final boss status.
Here we go!
And people complain about that, but again, it makes sense, because as I've explained, Eggman isn't leveling up. Eggman is as he always was. He is just as much of a threat now as he was back in Sonic 1.
Robots.
And at the time, like, only Sonic was capable of being able to deal with him. But now, where we're at in the series now, other characters have attained that are able to deal with him also. Like, I'm sure, like, Gun and the world military would still be, like, helpless in his wake. But when it comes to the main characters, when it comes to the playable, like, Sonic and his animal buddies, everyone can fight Eggman off. So, yeah, of course he's not going to be the final boss. He's practically... He's practically a joke now by this point, so naturally... I just don't want to deal with this. Naturally, he's going to be eclipsed by graver threats. Like, do you seriously think Sonic is going to need to pop Super Sonic in order to fight fucking Eggman by this point? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't really think so. I don't think that's needed, you know? I mean, hell. Sonic might not even need to pop Supersonic to deal with other enemies he's dealt with who weren't Eggman. Right? So yeah, you gotta come up with a new villain. Otherwise, you know, a new credible threat that Sonic's gonna need to go supersonic in order to deal with them. Because otherwise, it's just gonna be, what's the big deal? It's just Eggman again. And even in the newer games, even in the new modern quote-unquote games...
Excuse me, miss. I was wondering if I could ask you something.
I love that delivery. That line read is so fucking great for some reason.
Now hand over that chow.
Excuse me, miss.
I bet you're the ones who took chocolate chow.
What?
It's not nice to tease my friends.
You won't like me when I'm angry.
No.
Oh my god. Literally no reason to fight. Look at that anim- like, rewind that. Before it faded to black, Espio had a cool ninja pose.
I'll never let you take cheese from me.
Yeah, literally no reason to fight. It's kind of silly.
A major misunderstanding here, but we can't back down.
Get up! God damn it. Come on, these team fights are actually pretty annoying. Okay, somehow, like, it really does come down to luck, because for you, if you get hit without rings, you're dead. If they get hits without rings, they just get stunned out of the way. God fucking damn it, seriously? Like, it doesn't matter to them. Like, it doesn't matter to them if they get hit without rings, but if you get hit without rings, you just die. What you have to do is knock them off the side. Like, even in the later games where it is just Sonic and Eggman, he still doesn't need to go supersonic to deal with them. It's kind of funny. Anyway. Are you impressed I was able to extrapolate even that much to talk about with this game and its complete lack of a story? Oh,
That's a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah, sure made fools out of ourselves.
Nothing new for you, Vector.
what is that dance?
You were the first one to jump at the chance.
No time for arguing.
Okay, so before we show the other team fight and also the other intro cutscenes here, this is the level. This is the worst level in the entire game. For every single team. Every single team, this level is way too long, it's way too tedious, it is full of shit, I hate this level, it is goddamn bullshit garbage. This is the level that made me quit the game. I never beat this game as a kid because of this level as Team Chaotix. I could never beat this game as Team Chaotix. I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't find all 10 keys. The mission of this level is to find all 10 keys, and only when you find all 10 keys is the level finished. I could never find the last key. As a kid, I got stuck and couldn't finish Sonic Heroes because I could never find the 10th key. I never beat this game. I never made it past this level with Chaotix.
Focus.
I had beaten every other team. This was the only one I could never do. So if you want the authentic experience, this is where this playthrough ends, because I could never, ever finish it. I could never find those 10 keys. God damn. Anyway. Challenge. Lets you just pick the level. So, Team Chaotix fought Team Rose. And so, obviously, Team Sonic will fight Team Dark. How nostalgic. Here we go. Here is more than any other scene. Makes me go, why isn't there more story here?
Hey, isn't that...
Sonic!
Talk about being stubborn and full of surprises.
Long time no see, boys.
Too bad you had to come all this way for nothing. We'll take it from here.
What'd you say?
Sensors locked on Eggman. Non-compliant intruders will be destroyed.
Didn't you know? We have a date with Eggman, too.
Is that so? Well then, it'll be a date to die for.
Stop making bedroom eyes at each other. Those were bedroom eyes, Shadow. Those were some fucking bedroom eyes. Anyway. So, that more than any other, I'm going, no, why doesn't this game have more of a story? Sonic watched Shadow die. He said, sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog. And here he is, seeing his old friend come back to life. Shadow has been resurrected in front of his eyes, and his reaction is, talk about being stubborn and full of... Like, there's no discussion. There's no, hey, Shadow, weren't you dead? What's up with that? No, let's just fight because we're gonna fight now. Because we're gonna fight now. Come on! Come on! Give me more! Damn it! Anyway. It also totally throws off the team dynamic because A, they're just fighting for no reason, but B, Rouge is supposed to go up against Knuckles, but in this game she's the flying type and he's the power type. So instead, in terms of the team dynamic, that means Tails versus Omega? What? Like it's one of those things. It's one of those things is all.
Okay!
Alright!
That's one of those reasons that I'm like, I wish there was more here, but golly, there sure isn't. Golly, this isn't my favorite Sonic game.
You sure this is the right way?
I saw Shadow and Eggman head this way.
Oh my god, what is this mixing?
Right way.
But it's so spooky here!
Maybe that's the ghost of Shadow we saw earlier.
Woo!
That's the only fucking acknowledgement we're gonna get to the fact that Shadow was fucking dead. For some reason, the sound of the fire was just monstrously loud and covering their lines there for some reason. Again, I always liked how, like, certain fanon or, like, side canon would try and say that Knuckles is afraid of ghosts. He's clearly not! If you go by the games, Knuckles clearly ain't afraid of no ghosts. And so Tails is the one going, oh, spooky fucking ghosts, and Knuckles teases him about it. Being like, yeah, I'm afraid of no ghosts. Hey, remember how Shadow died? Maybe he's a ghost now. That's kind of disrespectful, anyway. Yeah, let's totally not talk about that, by the way. Let's totally not get into it.
This is the right way?
Affirmative.
What's up? Something on your mind?
Well, never mind. Let's go.
So
Blue Hedgehog like me. What did the doctor say about my memory? And just who am I?
again, Shadow having amnesia. You can't see it, I'm making the finger quotes with my fingers. Finger quotes. Shadow's amnesia means that now his defining conflict has become internal. He's become a character with internal conflict. He doesn't know who he is. And he's still getting, like, it's almost like it's instinctual. It's almost like you get amnesia, right? And you forget who you are or who anyone else in your life is, right? But you don't forget how to ride a bike, right? You don't forget how to tie your shoes. Isn't that weird? When you actually sit down and think about it, isn't it weird that even people who have amnesia still remember how to tie their shoes? So with Shadow, it's the same way. He doesn't remember / doesn't have those memories, but he still knows. He still runs into this blue hedgehog and goes, I know this feels familiar.
Okay, here we go.